Jay grabbed me by my hair and started slamming me up against the wall.
I started playing house, thinking that it would change Dre too, and it didn't. Women was all over him, and I was like, I shouldn't be getting women up out my bed.
Dre ain't got no love.
No love?
No love. Whatsoever.
It's common knowledge that Diddy is facing public allegations. However, in the aftermath of this case, it appears numerous other actors are laying low, fearing potential exposure. Allegedly, among them is the renowned Dr. Dre. Speculation is rife that the apparent resolution of his feud with Diddy may be linked to an undisclosed agreement. So let's delve into why Dr. Dre has chosen to remain silent and explore how the connections between him and Diddy sheds light on the current situation. 8 years after a brief business-related dispute, Sean Diddy Combs and Dr. Dre seemingly buried the hatchet, embracing a spirit of love. It was confirmed when the music mogul Diddy shared images on Instagram showcasing the two music moguls collaborating in a recording studio. The series of 5 photos capture moments of camaraderie, the legendary duo locking hands vibing to their joint project, and Diddy laying down vocals in the recording booth. Notably, Kanye West and Snoop Dogg were also present in the studio, adding to the star-studded musical collaboration.
When I told Puff, I was like, yo, Dre, you know, Dre is interested in signing me. He was like, go ahead, Playboy, that's where you belong anyway. He was like, man, he was like, that makes sense.
Diddy and Dr. Dre experienced a brief estrangement following an incident in 2014 when Tyrese Gibson posted a seemingly drunken video with Dre beside him prematurely announcing Apple's acquisition of Dre's Beats brand for $3.2 billion. Diddy, upon seeing the clip, informed Beats co-founder Jimmy Iovine, prompting Apple CEO Tim Cook to renegotiate the deal at $3 billion, leaving Dre $200 million short.
Hold on, man, hold on. It's not often do you get to listen to Beats with Mr. Beats himself. Oh, wait, oh, that mix is
Despite this tension, Diddy extended an olive branch by inviting Dre and Snoop on stage during the Bad Boys reunion tour in Los Angeles in 2016. A representative for Diddy denied any long-standing feud to the Post. In an Instagram caption, Diddy expressed admiration for Dre's production, recalling how it provided clear direction for the level of producer he aspired to be. Quote, I remember the first time I heard at Dr. Dre's production. It gave me clear direction on the level of producer that I wanted to be. Diddy started his Instagram caption, last night I got the chance to work with this man and to see his genius as he coached me through vocals. He reminded me of myself but with a different style and way more focused. I got to step my focus up, lol, he laughed. But it was a great experience and I thank God for it. I hope one day y'all get to have the same experience with someone that you always looked up to as a hero, Diddy concluded. The newfound warmth and closeness between Diddy and Dr. Dre struck many as unusual given their history of not being particularly friendly. Speculation has arisen, with some suggesting that their sudden camaraderie may be rooted in the possibility that they share each other's secrets. The notion being that by joining forces, they might be ensuring mutual protection or safeguarding undisclosed aspects of their personal or professional lives.
Dre teaming up to do something, y'all know about our relationship and a whole nother way of just making music separately.
What's more interesting is that amid a slew of serious allegations from his ex-girlfriend Cassie and other women, Diddy faced the accusations on his own without any apparent involvement or support from Dr. Dre. Dre is nowhere to be seen. People are suggesting that with the fear of being exposed, Dre is hiding himself. And given Dre's past history, this is not a surprise to anybody. Dr. Dre has indeed achieved significant success in the entertainment industry, making a name for himself both as a rapper and a business mogul. His contributions to rap music in the early 90s with NWA, as well as his successful solo career, have solidified his status as a well-respected figure in the music world.
I can't keep it home a lot, cause when I frequent the spots that I'm known to rock, you hear the bass from the...
In addition to his musical accomplishments, Dr. Dre has excelled as a businessman, music producer, and label executive. His successful signings of global talents like 50 Cent and Eminem have further highlighted his impact on the industry. With 7 Grammy Awards and 26 nominations, his mastery in music production and performance is evident, showcasing the influential role he has played in American music since he rose to prominence in '84.
Hip-hop became a lifeline for me as a teenager growing up in Compton, scratching and mixing on the turntables.
had me hooked and became the entry point to a 40-year career of doing something that I really love.
However, people rightfully believe that Dr. Dre's success in his professional endeavors does not negate or excuse the allegations of domestic violence that have been made against him by several women, including Dee Barnes, Michel A, and his ex-wife Nicole Young. These allegations raise important questions about his conduct in personal relationships, and it's crucial to acknowledge both aspects of his public persona. Success in one area of life does not necessarily reflect success or ethical behavior in others. Dr. Dre's involvement in physical altercations with women dates back to his teenage years, reportedly starting at the age of 16. At that young age, he fathered his first child with Cassandra Joy Green. However, he distanced himself from the responsibility of fatherhood, only reconnecting with his son when he turned 20. As detailed by Ben Westhoff in the book Original Gangstas: The Untold Story of Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Tupac Shakur, and the Birth of West Coast Rap.
When he walked in the room, it was like, okay, turn the music up, it's time to party.
This early episode foreshadowed a recurring pattern in Dr. Dre's relationships with women. Throughout his life, he faced allegations of A from multiple women, a fact acknowledged by the music mogul himself during a candid and profanity-laden interview in 2015. Quote, "I made some horrible mistakes in my life," he said, adding that, "I was young, effing stupid. I would say that all the allegations aren't true. Some of them are." Per the Fader, this behavior never stopped, and he did wrong with the women of the industry. Before Iggy Azalea entered the scene, Terry B, born Teresa Beth, was making waves. Initially part of the female dance group Bardot, she stepped into the spotlight after the release of their debut single Three-Time Lover in '87. Opting to embark on a solo career as a white female rapper, Terry B caught the attention of Eazy-E, who signed her to his newly established label Comptown Records, distributed by MCA. Despite the label's relatively low profile, Terry B's 1990 debut, Power of a Woman, became its sole release.
That's rockin'! Oh, but some we want a man, but never jockin', sockin'. If it gets out of hand.
During that time, it was a tradition for all NWA members to make appearances on the final track of albums made by artists affiliated with the group. In the case of the DOC's The Grand Finale, for instance, Ice Cube joined forces with the rest of NWA for the last song. The concluding track, originally planned for Power of a Woman, was titled I Ain't Your B, with Ice Cube set to pen the lyrics. The concept mirrored It's a Man's World from America's Most Wanted. In this envisioned track, NWA members would take turns using the term B directed at Terry B, with her responding fiercely in the final verse. For some reason, she wasn't keen on the proposed idea. Instead, she opted to create a track titled Ruthless B, taking shots at NWA and even other ruthless artists like JJ Fad. She claimed Dre resembled something unsavory during his time in World Class Wreckin' Crew and accused him of borrowing heavily from Ultimate Breaks and Beats for the samples on Straight Outta Compton, both of which were accurate.
In a black-dominated field of music, it's real hard to stress that, you're serious and that you've got the ability to keep up with your peers.
Upon hearing the song, Dr. Dre was understandably upset. He confronted Terry B and her manager at a party during the 1990 Grammys. Believing that Dr. Dre would not resort to physical confrontation with a woman, especially in the presence of Dick Clark, New Kids on the Block, and Janet Jackson, Terry B stood her ground. Terry B described what happened next in an interview with Record Mirror. Quote, "When Dr. Dre heard the track, he turned up at the awards ceremony party, where he punched Terry twice, once in the mouth and once in the eye. He hit me like Tyson, but I took it. I don't know how." The LAPD intervened, dispersing the altercation and obtaining a statement from Terry B. She pointed fingers at the assailant, linking him to the controversial track F the Police. It's a wonder that Dre didn't face a more dire consequence that night. Subsequently, she found herself receiving payment to withdraw the charges, under the condition that her album would not see the light of day without compliance. Undeterred, Terry B returned to the studio and reworked Ruthless B, this time weaving in a reference to Dr. Dre's shoe incident at the Grammys. Somehow this modified version made its way onto Power of a Woman.
Cause I'm the gangster's mall, swinging to the femme fatale roll call.
favorite?
It is not acceptable to celebrate individuals in hip-hop who have mistreated and marginalized women, only to evade accountability for their actions or in general. Dr. Dre, undoubtedly a musical genius, played a pivotal role in pushing hip-hop beyond its regional confines, fostering a more expansive and inclusive sound that resonated globally. His music candidly addressed the violence of his era, contributing to the genre's evolution. One of his fans wrote, "I love how people tried to end him, but he made the best retaliation song ever with Still Dre. When you're on top, nobody wants to knock you down to feel better about themselves. He is the best hip-hop producer ever for me without a doubt." Another one added, quote, "Nobody is perfect, so don't judge Dre too harshly. His music speaks for itself. He's truly a musical mastermind." However, creating an award bearing his name amid long-standing accusations of violent behavior perpetuates a state of perpetual adolescence. In 1991, Dee Barnes, the host of the hip-hop show Pump It Up, found herself at the center of a disturbing incident. The show aired a segment featuring Ice Cube discussing the tensions between him and Dr. Dre following their split over a royalties dispute. Allegedly enraged by the clip, Dr. Dre confronted Barnes at an album launch party, slamming her face into a restroom brick wall. Barnes, who has consistently spoken about the A, endured lasting consequences, including recurrent migraines, while Dr. Dre went on to achieve tremendous artistic and business success. Barnes faced industry blacklisting and spent 3 years without stable housing.
They grabbed me by my hair and started slamming me up against the wall.
Over the years, Dr. Dre has faced allegations of violence towards women, a matter he addressed in a 2015 statement to the New York Times. In his explanation, he attributed its actions to being a young man consumed by excessive drinking and lacking structure in his life. Dre expressed remorse, apologizing to the women he had hurt and asserting his commitment to personal growth for the sake of his family and wife. He acknowledged the profound impact of his past actions and emphasized his efforts to become a better person.
Any man that puts his hands on a female is a fucking idiot. He's out of his fucking mind. I was out of my fucking mind at the time. I paid for it. I'm sorry for it.
However, R&B singer Michel A, who was in a relationship with Dre during the 90s, expressed skepticism about his apology. She disclosed that she had been discussing her experiences of A for many years, but her voice had not gained attention until recently. Michel A revealed that she never pursued legal action against Dre for the physical A she endured, citing the cultural context in which she was raised.
One night he came in, I guess he went out with Stock and yelling, and he came in drunk and just took off and sucked me in ass.
In a 2016 interview with HuffPost, Michel A recounted instances of A, including black eyes, a cracked rib, and scars. She questioned the sincerity of Dre's public apology, suggesting it was prompted more by the publicity surrounding Straight Outta Compton than genuine empathy for her or Dee Barnes. Michel A emphasized the importance of raising awareness about such issues, expressing a desire to prevent other women from going through similar experiences.
I honestly couldn't tell you. We couldn't have had an argument or anything because I was just waking up to... I have no idea.
Michel A was also the mother of one of his children. These traumatic events led her to step back from a promising music career. More recently, Nicole Young has also talked about Dre. Dr. Dre's second marriage garnered attention when his then-wife, Nicole Young, who had previously accused him of A and infidelity, served him divorce papers related to attorney's fees during his grandmother's funeral in October 2021, as reported by TMZ.
Dr. Dre's estranged wife, Nicole Young, has come forward with allegations of physical and emotional abuse against her ex, including the claim that he held a gun to her head twice.
In January of that year, Young made serious allegations claiming that Dre had held a G to her head in 2000 and 2001 on 2 separate occasions. She also accused him of physically punching her and kicking through doors, asserting that the verbal and emotional A had led to her suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome, as stated in court documents published by People. Young, who had filed for divorce in June 2020, recounted an incident in '95 when she contacted the police alleging that Dre had had slammed her up against a wall and lifted her off the floor by her neck. She revealed her reluctance to involve law enforcement during their marriage, explaining that her fear of Dre outweighed her confidence in the police's ability to help. The couple ultimately reached a settlement in December 2021, despite Dre denying the A allegations. He said, quote, "At no time did I A Nicole or threaten her physical safety." Nicole Young claimed something entirely different, calling Dre's words blatant lies. In her response, Nicole wrote, quote, "I have explained in excruciating and painful detail the A that Andre has perpetrated against me over our more than 25-year relationship." Young also recounted instances where Dr. Dre's actions posed a threat to her physical safety. In one such incident, she stated, quote, "Andre kicked down the door to a bedroom in which I was hiding from his rage in 2016. Andre has verbally and emotionally decimated my personhood to the extent that I currently suffer from PTSD." Dr. Dre has consistently maintained his innocence, arguing that the police were never called to their home for a domestic dispute during their marriage. Nicole initially agreed with this assertion, but clarified that there was a caveat. The police had been called in '95 before their marriage when Nicole accused Dre. Nicole explained her decision to stop calling the police once they became husband and wife. This factor, she claimed, led her to refrain from seeking police intervention during their marriage. She said for Dre to insinuate that she is lying about the A because she did not maintain documentation of each incident is revolting and insulting. Quote, "It is well known and accepted that most victims of domestic violence do not have documentary evidence of their A." According to TMZ, Dre agreed to pay his ex-wife $50 million in 2021 and an additional $50 million the following year. Dr. Dre's family life came under scrutiny in 2021 when his daughter, LaTanya Young, told the Daily Mail that she was living in her car and working for services like Uber Eats and DoorDash to survive. Quote, "I'm homeless and I've been reaching out to my dad for help," she revealed. "His lawyer has said that my dad doesn't want to help me because I've spoken about him in the press." She has 4 children of her own, but insisted that they were being taken care of. She also claimed that it was difficult to get in touch with Dre. "I feel like I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't," Young added. After opening up about her situation, Young started a GoFundMe page that ultimately raised over $8,000 in donations. After this incident, people started suggesting that Dre did not even let his own daughter from experiencing the same things he did with other women. One of them wrote, quote, "Dre did Michel A so wrong. She was the only woman that ever loved him. He looked at pictures of them. The way she looked at him, like she really cared for him. Nicole just wanted him for the money and the lavish lifestyle. Michel A was with him before he was famous and held it down, but he never appreciated that. This is karma for Dre." Another one added, quote, "He has never addressed none of his behavior, so any woman who messed with him moving forward was going to get the same treatment." One more person wrote, "Nicole was the mistress while he was with Michel A. She lost him how she got him. Killy Anderson moved up from mistress to main. She also had a baby by Dre. She will lose him how she got him as well. Dre is only loyal to himself." Despite this troubling history of alleged violence against women, a Grammy Award was renamed the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award in his honor and presented to him. The renaming was championed by the Black Music Collective, a group specifically formed to amplify Black voices within the Academy and the broader music community. Dr. Dre's continued success in the face of these accusations effectively silences his accusers, hindering the necessary public reckoning required to hold perpetrators accountable and initiate a reconciliation process.